you.
Right. Okay, cool. So I'll give a little backdrop of the whole thing, and then we can chime into questions and all that stuff. But I like to always begin with the end in mind, and I think that whether it's building a business, whether it's a relationship with your wife or your kids or whatever you're doing in life, I think it's always good to start with the end in mind. Because when you understand the end in mind, you are able to make better decisions to lead you to that direction. Example, I'm in Florida here. If we want to drive to New York, and that's the end in mind, we'll probably take the route that can lead us to New York. And if we have to make a detour, it would be intentional to try to get us back on track. So, network marketing. I believe everybody has different goals, but ultimately, the way that we achieve that goal is basically the same formula. Okay, so one, if you're taking notes here, I would say the goal is to build a large downline. So write large downline, and the reason why you want to build a large downline, it equals large sales volume, and large sales volume equals a large commission check to you. So whatever you're doing, you want to build a large downline. And there's lots of different strategies to go recruit people, find people to introduce them, to invite them to look at your business. And the reason that with MLM Recruiter Man, I focus and we teach a lot on targeting and going after people with experience in network marketing. And the reason why I put everything, and if you look at my training and if you're familiar with it, you'll see I just throw everything at that one particular topic, which is inviting network marketers, is because if you're fishing in the network marketing pool, it's an activity that has the probability to give you the highest return, okay, as far as building a large downline. And I like the analogy that I like is I say, hey, if we were running a football team and we needed a guy that can kick a 50-yard field goal, well, the highest productive activity would be to go talk to the yard field goal and exhaust that strategy before we do anything else. So I hope you're shaking your head yes to that. So the same way, if the goal is to build a large downline, then the highest producing activity is to go talk to people that have built large downlines before, or in our case, people that may know other people that have built large downlines before. So when you're in the network marketing pool, there's a high chance that you're going to find people that will lead you to people that have built big downlines before, and that's how you find those people. Because they're harder to find, they're fewer to find. So targeted network marketers will lead you to them, and occasionally you'll run across the big players. If you're in that pool, you have a much better chance of doing that than trying to bump into them at the grocery store. So that's the reason why. And I wanted to cover that because the biggest question I get sometimes from people is, well, why would I target network marketers? Aren't they involved in other businesses already? And the answer is no. A lot of people get involved with a program, and either the program goes away or something changed and they moved on to something else. So if you're in that pool, you'll find people that are active, but you'll also find people that are open. So so that's a misnomer. So anyway, I wanted to cover that. At MLM Recruiter Man, we give you all the data. We have data of people that have joined network marketing. We give you all the training, a simple way to invite them to take a look at your business. It's implementable now. So it's not something like you got to go set up a site and you have to figure out traffic exchanges and all this stuff. And it doesn't mean that those kind of strategies don't work, but this is something that can be implemented right now. Okay? There's not much to talk about it because it's that simple. So the best way I could do it is maybe demonstrate it and make a couple phone calls or whatnot. I don't know if there's any questions inside of there so far that you think that we should touch on before I get into it, or if you want me to go deeper, ask me a question.
Right now, Ryan, everybody is just saying how grateful they are. So, guys, we do want to elicit your questions if you have them. I know some of you guys are struggling out there, but Ryan, maybe you could talk about the psychology behind getting people on a script and getting them narrowed down and having them answer questions, and the reason why we do that as opposed to just flipping them the link and saying, hey, you guys need to watch this. I mean, your 14-minute video is amazing, and it does help us sell it. But there's a reason why you and I and Aaron and Kevin use scripts. You know, maybe you can just touch on that. I know Kevin's going to touch on that. I know Aaron will touch on that. And I personally, having sold over 27,000 cars in my career and hated scripts, but my wife would tell you for 30 years we've tried to duplicate me, and it's been hard. And we use scripts in the car business, but I didn't. And so when I started your program for 3 days, I didn't use the script, and I was failing miserably. And young Aaron tells me, he goes, well, you're a freaking idiot. He goes, you think you're too smart. He goes, and I mean, he called me a freaking idiot, and I sponsored him. And he says, you think you're too smart. He goes, go back to using the script. Go back to using the script. And the instant I did that, my PayPal started blowing up. I'm like, okay, all right. So
well,
maybe you can address that before you make a call or two.
Yeah, you know, scripting is so important. I mean, if you take the movie business, everything is all scripted out. You know, and those scripts turn into billions of dollars in movie sales. You know, so having a script can be very predictable of getting whether it's a person to move to the direction of being open to looking at your business, or you know, going down the direction of what you're trying to achieve. So, did someone else just join us here too? Looks like someone just joined the call too. Yeah, what's up?
That is Joel Burks, and we'll get to him. As a matter of fact, I'll start when you're done making a couple of calls. Joel, thanks. I know you're traveling. Thanks for being here, buddy. You guys are going to want to hear about Joel. When Joel got involved, I didn't even know he enrolled. He got enrolled under a rotator that we were running leads under, and Joel had been following us on our scope trains, and we talked about this. He tried it, and he's going to tell you, but he had a $600 first day using this, and he sponsored so many people into his primary business in the first 48 hours that I wanted to invite him on. Him and Kevin have very similar results. So I think everybody's excited to hear you do this. And guys, I want you to understand something. Nothing that Kimberly and I or anybody on this panel ever will suggest to you is something we don't use. One of my pet peeves in this and any other business is selling something that you don't prescribe to. I am absolutely convinced this is one of the best tools I've ever had in my toolbox, and I use it. I use it constantly to promote what I love. And it's a tool, Ryan, and I don't think that's a harsh thing to you. I think that was your intent, for me to be on the top of my leaderboard in my company. I don't think your intent was ever to steal me away from my dreams.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely, you know, and so yeah, touching on scripts, you know, scripts are very important to achieve an objection. Now, with saying that, it doesn't mean that you have to sound scripted, you know. You have to internalize it. You have to internalize the conversation, and you'll hear me if I make a couple of calls right now. You'll hear that not every call is the same, but that's why you have to have a script as a guideline so that you can follow this. And I'll tell you, the way that our script came about, the script that you see in MLM Recruiter Man, there was a period of about 90 days where I was taking on average 50 to 60, 70 incoming calls, okay? And recording the calls, a lot of the calls you get to hear it in the back office as training, and then I would play back the calls about 3 hours at night, trying to see, well, where should I make a change for the next day. And I did that for a solid 90 days to come up with the language that you see in the script. Okay, so I wanted to let you know how much predictability, and sometimes it was just changing one little word, and I've tried everything to what you're going to hear me do in a couple of minutes. So I don't know if there's any comments or questions on that before I jump into that, or what you want to do at this point.
No, I want you to jump into that. One of the questions that we've got so far, and I've got this from several people, is if you have limited time to make calls, what other strategies can we follow? And I don't know if you want to address that, Ryan, but that's going to be addressed by Aaron Hubbard. I'll
tell you my 2 cents is this is so easy to do that you can fit it in around your lifestyle. I have talked to members that shared with me that they had a 20-minute lunch break, and they had this script, and they went to their car, and they turned on the air, and they made calls, and they've recruited people, and they've also made some connections that led to other good things down the road. I want to touch on that. A lot of time people are looking for the magic bullet, whether it's MLM Recruiting Demand or whatever out there, that can sign people up without talking to them or with one call. And you may get that, and I believe you can, but ultimately the goal is to build a relationship that can turn into something long term. You gotta have that in play. If you get your processes really tight and you can make that initial conversion in a couple of days or a couple of hours, great. If initially you got to build a pipeline to make that happen, then you got to have that in play, because a lot of times people say, well, I made 20 calls, nothing happened. So I want to make sure that people are really getting those psychologies. You got to build a pipeline. I talked to a member not too long ago that recruited a guy. He didn't know he was going to recruit him. He met a guy. The guy said, I'm not interested. He introduced him to MLM Recruiting Demand. They kept in touch. He sent him a birthday card, and the timing of that card was perfect because something was going on with the guy's company. Long story short, he recruited a guy. The guy put in 600 people in his business. And this particular guy was not a big recruiter. He had never recruited more than 27 people in his life. He's been in network marketing over 10 years. So that's a perfect example. So those kind of things can happen, but you got to have that vision of building relationships with people, and some of those people will turn into be your leaders. Some of those people will end up leading you to your leaders, and most of the times that's how it happens. You got to be looking down the road. So with that, I can make a couple calls and maybe you could see it, but basically we're reaching out to network marketers. You're going to, a lot of times if you're making phone calls, you're going to get a lot of voicemails. You're leaving them a simple voice message. Hey, I came across one of your sites, got a quick question, give me a call back. That's pretty much the kind of voicemails that you're leaving. And a percentage of people will call you back from there. Sometimes you're going to get people live, and you can move into a live invitation. That's the gist of our program, and then we have some other things that can help generate incoming calls without having to make a lot of outgoing calls, but that's really it. Cool?
Yes, very cool. And I want to, and Roy Adler, who's a great one of our team members, he asked the question about other strategies. And Roy, we will get to some other ways, because personally I don't make a lot of calls because I've been taught by my wife and Aaron, and my diligence to bring a lot of inbox, but I still use MLM Rod as the focus and the bridge. So my conversations go a different flavor. And what Ryan's saying is the same thing no matter what we do. Unless you're a super affiliate and you've got lists of hundreds of thousands and millions of people, email blasts and typical things that work for some of these monster guys will not work for you when you have a list of 8 and you're trying to build that. You have to build your pipeline. And as Ryan said earlier, this is something that will put income in your pocket instantly if you follow the proven track that works. And to have him actually hear and be able to use a script that you're going to be able to use, you'll get better and better as you use it, and you'll get more proficient. But still, you can do this tonight. You can do this tomorrow. And if you make enough calls and enough contacts, you're going to put money in your bank account. It's predictable. So the only thing is to get started, really. So yeah, Ryan, let's do a couple. I think that's an honor that you would do that for us.
Cool. The only thing I'm going to do different in my little script here today, when I get to the point where someone's giving me their email address so I can send them some information, I'm just going to have them text it to me, so this way they don't have to give out their email address on a public stream here, okay? Let's see here. All right, so I got a voicemail back from, let me see this one here.
Hey, Ryan Dennis, this is Michael Brown. You called me and he was asking about one of my sites.
All right, so I'm going to call this guy back. He left me a message. Now, he got a message from my system, from me, saying that I came across one of his sites. I got a quick question, which is the truth. Our system found one of their network marketing websites, and I do have a quick question, which you'll hear me do right now. So I'm going to call this guy here, and I don't know how much you're going to be able to. I'm going to have it loud. I don't know if you can you hear my phone ringing there? So hopefully you can hear this. You'll let me know if the quality is clear enough. Never did it on a Google Hangout before. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Is this Michael?
Yes, sir, it is.
Ryan Gunnis?
Okay, I hear you.
Okay, good. Yeah, I catch you back at a good time?
Yeah, it's fine.
All right, good. Yeah, the reason I was calling you, I'm down in Florida, Port St. Lucie, Florida.
Yeah.
I'm looking to expand one of my businesses. I'm in the network marketing industry.
Uh-huh.
So I'm reaching out to some networkers, and I believe that you've been in the industry in the past. So just wanted to connect with you and see if you might be open to taking a look at any good opportunities.
Well, actually, I've got all the opportunities I can handle right now, and I'm working. I use actually Little Ticket to Wealth. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Yeah, with the lead system, right?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I've got a done-for-you system.
Okay. How long you been with?
I don't even have to touch it.
How long you been with that program?
Huh?
How long you been with that program?
Just got with them. I've been with them about 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay. Are you
marketing my
okay? Are you
traffic? I'm doing a little bit too.
okay? Are you open-minded to looking at other things right now, or you're saying that your plate is pretty full?
My plate's pretty full right now. I'm
Okay.
spinning all the way I can.
Okay, no problem. What I could do, if you're open, I can shoot you a link to the lead system that I use myself, the one that led me to you, and maybe it could help support you with what you're doing right now as well. At least you'll know how I found you. Would you like me to send you that?
Well, I'll be willing to look at it if you want.
Okay, cool. I can't jot down your email right now. Can you just text it back to me at this number here, and then when I get a moment, I'll shoot it out to you, okay?
You're going to text it to me?
No, in fact, I'll just text it to you. You can get a text at this number here?
Well, no, I'm on a home phone, just a regular phone.
Okay.
It doesn't take a text.
All right, well,
if you want, you can send it to my email. That's fine.
Okay, yeah. If give me a little bit when I can get a chance to jot it down. I'll give you a buzz back and I'll jot it down. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, Michael. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Very cool. All right. Now, normally I would get his email address. He would have given it to me right now. I just didn't want to do that in a public stream like this. Okay. And you see, he was willing to give it to me. You know. So anyway, any comments on that before I do another one?
Yeah, so at that, just to be aware for everybody that's watching, all Ryan does at that point is push a button. Am I correct, Ryan?
Yeah, I would grab his email address, okay, which he was volunteering it. I typically in my script I don't go into the place where it text me your email, but here at that stage that's where I
Right. You know? But in their back office of their system, they're looking at 3 buttons, and depending on what the consumer says or prospect says, you just push a button and boop, it sends it to them, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, awesome. I think that's one of my favorite parts.
Yeah. So here's a simple example. I mean, that call was 2 minutes. He told me he's involved with something. He has his hands full, and I transitioned into promoting the marketing system, the same system that led me to find him. Who doesn't want to know where you found him? Okay, so it makes it very attractive to go in that direction because it's a timing. If you're calling networkers, the timing right now feels like he has too much on his plate, and maybe that's true. So that's a good person to add to your Rolodex. And it's great that, hey, you're going to make some money in them looking at M1 recruitment anyway. They're going to end up seeing your primary business anyway because we have a strategy for that in the back office. But now it adds that person to your world. Because, if you're reaching out to network marketers, in fact, I believe the higher quality people to build relationships with are the people that saying, man, I'm busy. I'm running a team of 500 people or whatever the case may be. I can't look at anything else. I think that's a higher quality person than someone that says, oh, yeah, I'll look at what I haven't done anything in the last 5 years, and I'm sitting on the couch here eating some nachos. You know, I mean, you know, so I think that, you know, if you don't have a strategy to connect and build ongoing relationships with the people that the timing is right, you're missing out on a gold mine. So, you know, sometimes people feel, and I wanted to say that, I used to get people saying, well, it looks like you just want us to promote your marketing system. And I'm like, no, you're making the money. You know, I give away everything on the front end, but it's just a creative strategy to build a relationship with that person. That's all it is. So, cool. Anything else before I maybe try to do another?
Nope.
Ryan, I have a question from one of our viewers. They want to know about response magic.
Okay.
And how that fits in, and if there's a financial responsibility down the road for that.
So Response Magic, you get a free Response Magic account. It's the email autoresponder behind the scenes. It's good up until about 100 contacts, then they're going to start showing you notices like you got to upgrade to be a paid member. I didn't want to get into the autoresponder business, so I found a company that integrated with us, and they were willing to do it where they give the users a free account. There's not too much to really learn about it. If somebody has experience with an autoresponder, they probably figure it out very easily. If they have no experience with an autoresponder, I've made it where you just click a button when someone says yes, and you can follow the videos for that. If you want to get deeper with it, you can, but that's pretty much what it is. So I hope that answered that.
It's very awesome. You just click, set it up, and done.
That's it. All the messages are created. Everything, you know, is there. And again, you know, that comes back to systems and duplication. You know, it has to be. You know, I've seen a lot of. There's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of training out there. I mean, even training that you can find for free. But the average person, they get overwhelmed. You know, and you know, look, we just closed on a house, and we have to do some projects. I'm dealing with some of the contractors, and it's out of my scope. I don't even know how to, you know, I'm like, just deal with it, you know. So the same way, you know, someone, you know, you show them, here's a good email message and autoresponder and do this and do that, and they have all this stuff, and they go like, and they do nothing. So
yeah,
what can they expect to pay for that after 100 responses? What?
$9.95.
No, the $9.95 I think is for they have a text message service.
Oh yeah.
For the Response Magic, it's I think it's between $17 and $20 a month to go to their first tier subscription at that point.
That's 5,000 contacts, I believe, too.
Yeah, 5,000 contacts. You know, the beautiful thing is you don't have to write all the messages; they're all written for you. So you know, a lot of times people set up an autoresponder account, and you come back 4 months and they haven't wrote one message in there.
Here's the one thing that really gets me too is I've been using the capture pages as well, putting in my own leads in there, and I'm surprised because of the little messages that you send out, like, hey, I tried to get a hold of you and I didn't hear back, and they're emailing me back in my inbox.
Yeah,
it works.
Yeah, and it's about again, all those messages are written very non-proper in that sense. It's written kind of like, you know, smiley face, catch you later. It's written like how you would talk to someone like a friend.
Yeah, it's
like
nice.
Regular Joe. There may be even some typos in there. I'm not the best speller. My wife always, you know, I get in trouble all the time. She's very particular, and I don't have the time to, you know, to proof check everything. Right. And you know, that's how I would write a friend. You know, I might have a typo in there. Forgive me. You know.
Yeah.
And that's what people want to see in today's world. People are looking for realness. There's so much, especially in the network marketers. If they've been involved with something in the past, that means they've been disappointed. Whether it's I didn't make the type of money that I thought I would, whether it's the company shut down, whether it's they changed the comp plan and all my income went away, whatever it is, if they got involved with something in the past and they're not doing it anymore, they're not active with it anymore, it's because something happened that was a letdown. Could be, it could be outside of them, and a lot of times it could be, inside of them. And if they didn't know the right things to do to be productive, they didn't have the right leadership or the right team that can guide them through simple steps. So, which makes it perfect for MLM Recruiting the Man, because it's solving such a big problem that most networkers have, that instantly it's building you up. People are saying, wow, this Rob guy introduced me to this. What else is he doing? This Kevin guy, wow, what is he doing? Just like that, So
make another call.
Sure. Let's see who else here. It's 8:37. Let's see here.
Yeah, this is Jeff Williams. I was just returning your call.
Jeff Williams. All right. Let's see here. All right, I'll drop off of that. I'm not going to leave a message. Let me see this one here.
Hi, this is Isabel. I got a message from this number regarding, he said he came across some sites and yes.
All right, so let's see Isabel.
Hi, this is 602-748-8619.
Okay. We went to a voicemail. Let's see here.
Yeah, Ryan, it's Carl. Kenny, give me a call. You can reach me at this number.
Okay, let's see here. Call. Okay, calls voicemail again. Here. Oh, by the way, did the sound quality of the call come over pretty good? I didn't know if it did it?
No, it's coming over great.
Okay.
Hey, Ryan, this is Gary Briggs again. 315-806.
Okay.
Are you Skype calling these leads or phone dialing is a question?
I'm Skype dialing. I actually use Google Voice, so I have a Google Voice just for my mind, but I'm just using Skype, to make the calls. So I don't have to wear a headset or anything like that. So it's more comfortable. But you can do it, anywhere.
Hey, you reached 807-271.
Okay. I'm trying to hang up so I can protect people's phone numbers and stuff like that.
Ryan, hi. I received a message from you regarding one of my sites. This is Juana.
I think she said Juana. Okay, let's see here. Is this Juana?
Yes, it is.
Hi, it's Ryan Gunnis.
Hi, Ryan. How are you?
Good. Did I catch you back at a good time?
No, yes, everything is fine.
Okay.
How can I help you?
Yeah, reason I was calling you, I don't know if you can help point me in the right direction. I'm down in Florida, Port St. Lucie, Florida. And I'm looking to expand one of my businesses. I'm in the network marketing industry. So I'm reaching out to some networkers, and I believe that you've been in the industry in the past, and I wanted to kind of connect and see if you might be open to taking a look at any good opportunities.
I see. What opportunity? Which company are you with?
I'm involved with a couple of different things. Are you active with anything right now?
I am.
What you're involved with?
I'm involved with health and wellness.
Health and wellness, okay. Are you super focused? I don't want to distract you if you are. Are you, or are you open to looking at stuff?
I'm pretty committed to where I am. How did you get my information?
Actually, I have a system. If you want, what I could do is send you a link on it. I have a system that connects me with networkers. I could send you a link in it. You'll see how I found you, and maybe that can help you with what you're working on. Would you like me to send you that?
I see. Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. Is this your cell phone? Can you receive texts here?
Actually, yes.
Okay, cool. I'll just text it to you right now. Let me just text it over to you here. And you can take a look at it. And then if you have any questions, you can get back to me.
Okay, thanks so much.
I just sent it to you right now. Okie dokie, take care.
Okay, perfect.
Bye-bye. Okay, cool. So that's another cool.
Yeah, I want to bring something up here real quickly, Ryan. Everybody, 2 phone calls, 2 people that receive the information. Now, most of you will have, if you have 2 conversations, they'll go sideways on you and be negative. So that's 2 positive interactions. That alone in itself is such a positive uplift to somebody that it will motivate them to make a 3rd, a 4th, a 5th, and a 6th, and so on and so forth, connection and conversation. It's not to say that either one of these will join, but they've got a better choice now than they were. And if you notice, you probably were listening to Ryan and you got a little butterfly in your belly at certain points in that script. But there's nothing to fear. You just go through the script and allow it to do its work. And even though she wanted to get off the phone, at the end she's like, oh, this is a harmless call. Yes, I'll take the information is basically the summary of that whole deal. So you do not have to be afraid. Nobody wants to be pitched, so this takes the pitch out of the pitchy.
Totally.
You know, I love it. I'm telling you, I love it. This turns non-networkers into networkers.
Yeah, and you do have to give yourself some time. If you've never made any calls or anything like that, you got to give yourself some time. I remember my first mentor that taught me how to make phone calls. I mean, I was so bad that he told me if anybody answered the phone, my script was, I am sorry, I got the wrong phone number, and hang up. That was my script. It really was. True story. I was making calls on all the white pages, and I had to search for voicemails. I had to leave 50 messages, and they do these little stick man, and he'll check it off and sign it. And that's how I got started, And he didn't have to tell me, but I think about 2 weeks into it, I felt I had memorized what I was going to say on the voicemail, and I said, man, the next person answers the phone, I'm just going to say what I would say to their voicemail, and it wasn't so bad, So
it's not so bad. It's repetition.
Yeah, it's repetition. I personally find, even with a new script for myself, it takes me between 300 to 500 deliveries of that script to actually internalize it, And once I get it like this. But even with a new script, I was doing a little project for a buddy of mine. We were testing something. And I was working with a new script, and I was like, oh, and I didn't want to make any calls again. As good as you hear me here, or how smooth it sounds like, not too long ago, about 3 weeks ago, I was doing a project where we were calling on FSBOs, people that advertise their house for sale by owner, and I was working on a script, and man, I was like, man, I don't want to call anybody else. I got my head chopped off. And it was such a great experience because I had an opportunity to sit where a lot of people are sitting right now. And I felt for you, and I was like, man, this is true, because I forget about it. Sometimes people talk to me, and they're like, man, I don't know how to get over the fear of the phone. And I say, wake up, just go to work, make some calls, and I chop it off. But it is scary. And my answer to that is you got to do the repetition. So you have to set a goal that you can win. Say, you know what? I'm going to call 500 numbers. I don't care if I get a yes or no. I'm going to do that, because if you do the 500 calls, you win. Doesn't matter what happens on the call. So a lot of times we play tricks with ourselves, and we rate how we are based on what happened on the call. No, set the game up that you win. Say, I'm going to get through 500 calls in the next 3 days. I don't care if I get a yes or no. And then you win. And I trust you'll get better in that process. So anyway.
All right, Ryan, we got some more questions, but I'd like to. Why am I getting that feedback? Somebody not muted. Well, but before we do that, I'd like to go to one of our guests and have them give a short testimonial, and then come back. You still have time to stay with us, or do you need to bolt?
I can hang for a little bit more.
Okay.
I have a couple more calls in California, which I don't like to call people after 9 o'clock. That's my only rule.
Okay. Well, we're gonna bring on Joel and then Kevin Souza, and they'll be brief, but I really think their experience is something that we need to do, because I don't want people to get scared either about making 500 calls. I'm going to introduce a young man right now who I've become famously enamored with him and his family, and I've watched him have success in a day. And I'll let him, I don't want to steal his thunder, but this is Joel Dirks, and he's a friend of Kevin's, who I met him through, and now I consider him a friend of mine and Kimberly's. So,
hi guys, how's it going? Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Can you hear me? Okay, good. Yeah.
We got you, Joel. You're there.
Okay, good deal. I just want to, hey, hi Rob, hi Kevin, hi Aaron, hi Ryan, hi Kimberly. I was introduced to this thing through Periscope, which I'd followed, a few people here and there. It basically, what this did for me immediately was pushed me out of my comfort zone and actually having to make calls to people, because I'm one of those guys that, I don't know, I'm fairly new, so that's one thing, and that's a good thing. So everybody that hasn't made phone calls yet or is kind of afraid to, this script is so easy, and Ryan lays it right out there for you. So it's very easy to follow, and if you literally, and Kevin told me this the best, he was like, just do it verbatim. Don't try to wing it. Don't try to do anything special. Just do it verbatim, and that's all it takes. And I'm telling you guys, I made it was over $600 in the first day, within the first 24 hours, maybe a day and a half, and I made several $100s the next few days, and I'm still making money from this. This is not going to end. That's the fun thing. And I make calls. I use the script. I've made, let's see, I think that first 3 days, or 4 days, I made 22 sales into MLM Rod as well as my primary business. So that's the very coolest thing about this is, yes, you can make money from this, but it also opens your mind and opens you up to this new way to connect with people that will also be interested in learning about your primary business. And that's kind of, that's kind of what we're all here for. We want to promote our primary business, but this is an incredible system that I'm so thankful for Ryan, and everybody that introduced me to it, because it's amazing. This is no joke. I'm just enamored with it, and I will continue to do this over and over and over. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like you said, 300 to 500 calls, or 3 to 5. Yeah, that's fine. Just do it. Just do it. Make the calls and make it happen, and that's all you have to do, and you will succeed. It's a numbers game. We've heard that 1,000 times. It's a numbers game. So if you reach enough people, you're gonna get the results that you're looking for.
Hey, Joel, and I want to add, and I'm not picking on you, but in the prior few months to this, had you had a bunch of success? Is this typical for you? Are you one of these gurus that just knocks everything out of the park like an Aaron Hubbard? He gets up to the plate and just he's a home run guy, and people are pitching around him. Are you well known in the industry? Are you somebody people are tossing money at to come over to their new deal?
No, you know what? That's what's funny, because I hate Aaron and I love him at the same time. And you guys, because it's like, how does that happen? How is that possible? Like, how did this guy just come in and boom, he's on the boards, and boom, he's doing this and making stuff happen and all this stuff? No, I'm not that guy. I mean, I've struggled for months. I mean, Kevin can tell you, Rob, you could probably tell everyone too, like, this has not been an easy trek for me. But this made it just that much easier. I haven't seen, I remember when I got my first sale, several months ago, and it was several months into my venture here. And it was like, oh my gosh. And then, like, here comes some more, and here comes some more, and it slowly starts building, and you have to stick with it. You have to do what you need to do. But this just, like, made a little explosion. Made a little explosion of confidence on the phone, for one, because nobody likes that at first. I mean, who does? Kevin's been doing it for 35 years or whatever. I'm sure he's fine with it. But, some of us like me, that wasn't something I was interested in when I got into this industry. But the thing that motivates me, besides just my family and wanting to do what I need to do for them, is you got to learn. You got to learn, and it doesn't matter how long it takes. It doesn't matter what you have to do. If they say, okay, you're going to have to get on the phone and make some phone calls. I was like, damn it. Like, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to blog either. There's all sorts of stuff I don't want to do. But if that's what it takes to succeed in this industry, then that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to follow my leaders, and I'm just going to do whatever it takes and whatever I need to do and get it done. And that's it, until it happens.
Well, Joel, I'm just proud of you, and I love you, man. I hope Idaho's not burning up too much. I hope your dad's safe, and appreciate your time. I want to respect Ryan's time tonight. We're fortunate to have him. But thank you for coming on. I know you've been traveling. I know you drove 5 or 6 hours and pulled over for us. So it's beautiful behind you. It doesn't look like that's burning up. The guys say a prayer for our boys in Idaho. I got a lot of firefighters there. We're going to move on to Kevin. He's one of your leaders, and I want to hear from him too. So thanks, Joel. Kevin Sousa. For those of you guys that don't know Kevin, he has a storied career. He's made nearly $1 million in the last few years in this industry. He's on the leader council of our private groups in our private company. He's a tremendous leader with a tremendous heart. Him and his wife Kim. Kevin has been an actor. He's famous in the theater. He's been in phone rooms. He does a lot. So Kevin, would you share with us a little bit of your experience with Ryan's program?
Absolutely. Can you guys hear me okay?
Perfectly.
All right, great. Ryan, thank you for being here, and thank you for providing this system. Folks, I'm going to kind of give you an analogy here. Let's pretend for a minute, and this is directly related to MLM Recruit on Demand. Let's say that you're a network marketer, okay, and you wanted to find other network marketers. And so what you decided to do was hire somebody to find network marketers' names, phone numbers, and email addresses, okay? And there's a term we use on the internet called scraping, right? And you hired somebody to scrape or identify names, telephone numbers, and email addresses of people who were in the network marketing industry. In fact, to the point where you even know their company name that they were happily involved with. And you hired somebody to get all that information for you, right? And let's say to hire that person, it costs you $15 one time. And then if you want even more leads, it costs you another $125 one time, unless the person that gave it to you decided to waive the 100, right? So you run out of those 100 leads, you just submit a support ticket and ask for 100 more. You run out of those 100 leads, you submit a support ticket and ask for 100 more. And the person you hired just simply gets you 100 more, right? Powerful. Let's say you leave voicemails and you say a phrase like, I came across one of your sites, all right? Is that the truth? Of course it is. You hired somebody to find their site. Came across doesn't mean that you physically looked at their website. Came across simply means that you came across one of their sites. You didn't have to explain to them that you hired someone to get you the names, address, email address, and phone numbers of those people on those sites. You didn't have to say that, okay? So that's the analogy of exactly what you have a hold of with MLM Recruit on Demand. Now, I had a gentleman say, where'd you get my name? And I said to him, you gave it to me, sir. And he went, what? I said, yeah. I said, I appreciate that. When you decided to become happily involved in whatever company that you're in, I hired people to identify people, name, address, and phone numbers that they had put on their replicated sites with that company, and you're one of them. So I appreciate you letting me know that you're in the industry. Now, that's an unorthodox way, and I see Ryan chuckling, right? That's an unorthodox way, but it's the truth, guys. They gave us their name. The actual prospect gave us their name by virtue of them being involved in a business that happened to have their name, address, and phone number on their replicated site. Okay? That's the truth. And you hired somebody to identify a few of those networkers, and you just simply decided to call those people because you're kindred spirits. You're both in the networking industry. And you decided to see if they're open to looking at another opportunity or a way to find people like you have, the same exact way. None of that's in the script, but folks, that's exactly what MLM Recruit on Demand is. You have hired somebody to identify almost unlimited, virtually unlimited names, telephones, and emails of people in the industry that you can connect with to see if they're open to look at something else. And if not, if they're open to look at the way that you connected with them. See? Another way of rephrasing what we're in. And so, how did I discover these analogies and insights? Simple. I picked up the phone and I said, hi, this is Kevin Souza. Is this Mary? Yes. Hi, Mary. I don't believe we know each other personally, but you know, I live in Louisville, Kentucky, and I'm looking to expand my business. I'm in the network marketing industry, and I understand that, you know, you might have been in the industry in the past, and I just wanted to touch base with you, see if you might be open to taking a look at any good opportunities. And here's what they can say: yes, no, or I'm happy with what I'm doing, or where'd you get my name, or no, I've never been in network marketing. And I would say, oh, I'm sorry, next to your name here it says ACN. Oh, yeah, I was in that a couple of years ago. Oh, really? Isn't that interesting? You're getting a call 2 years after you were in something. You probably wish you'd stayed in then, right? Now, that is just a, you know, kind of a improvisation, and I do that because I have the experience over 30 years on the phone, but I also understand what we have a hold of. And when you read that script over and over and over and over and over and over again, which only takes maybe 100 or 200 calls, you become an expert at understanding exactly what you have in your hands. And you become excited about giving somebody else the opportunity to do the same thing and to join you in business and to build a relationship. I built a relationship with a gal who said, yeah, I'll look at the system because she was happy with what she was doing, Legal Shield. And so I sent her the system, and she emailed me back. She said, I have some questions. I said, well, this is too important by email. Call me. So she did. We went back and forth a few days, and all of a sudden she said, what are you in? I said, well, I help teach people how to market online and personal development courses. That's what I do. She says, I might join you in business. I said, no, you can't. And she said, what? I said, no, listen. You're happy with Legal Shield. You're doing what you're doing there. Why don't you generate enough leads to build that business? I said, why would you want to join me? Well, you seem to know, more about this industry than I do, and blah, 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 blah. I said, tell you what, if you're serious, I want you to upgrade to Program 2. They call it P2 in MLM Recruit on Demand. That's $125. that'll give you two things: another 200 leads and the right to earn $100 when someone else signs up and upgrades to P2. You see, it's fun, folks. We have a blast with this. Just have fun with it. Start reading it like, okay, if you know how to read and you have courage and you have a dream, that's all you need to get real good at MLM Recruit on Demand. And we can all thank Ryan Gunnis for putting together this whole program where we are, in essence, hiring people to find names, phone numbers, and email addresses for us to call on a regular, consistent, ongoing basis to build our businesses. You can use it in Facebook, the same script, and type it. If you identify their email address, put it in a search engine in Facebook, find them in Facebook, and have a conversation with them in Facebook and do the same thing using the same principle. So I went too long. I know Ryan doesn't want to call after 9, but does it work? No, it doesn't work. You work. As long as you work consistently every single day, you can succeed at this, period. And like Forrest Gump says, and that's all I have to say about that.
Thank you. Thank you, Kevin. You guys can see why we love him. I want to go over a couple of these things, and then I'm going to give it back to Ryan and let him go. We had one comment here, Ryan. This is a young gal that we work with a lot. She says, the first person I called, I landed. Here's another one, and he's a very strong player in our groups, but he hasn't, you know, he's again like Joel. He's a wonderful human being. Just had a baby. I love this guy to death. I mean, I just want to squeeze him all the time. But he says, I've been calling about 20 people daily for the past week. 2 to 3 people a day answered live when I called. 1 to 2, in addition, called back each day. MLM rocks. It gives you the opportunity to have some awesome conversations. And then Natasha says, I totally did the Facebook search for chat. Excitement, excitement. Sneaky way to think about it, but if you are right. And then Kevin is boss. Ryan, I plan on upgrading to the P3 membership. The only thing holding me back from doing so now is I feel like it's cheating. I feel like I need to go through the trenches first. What are your thoughts? So we'll start there, and then we'll let you summarize, and then we'll go to Aaron to teach us how to convert your program into to what he's doing and put himself on the leaderboard and make me look at his rear end all the time on the leaderboard. So what do you think about somebody upgrading to P3? And I know that you're I know that you're not a person, but you only make $25 until they do upgrade to P3. So obviously, in your world, that's an important thing for you to give enough value that they'd want to go to P3. But there's several people already in our group that are doing just that. So again, Josh's question is, the only thing holding me back from doing so is I feel like cheating. I feel like I need to go through the trenches first, and he wants to know what your thoughts are. And you're muted, Ryan. Ryan, you got to unmute yourself.
Now you can hear me?
I can hear you.
I guess before I comment on that or respond to that, I want to thank Joel and Kevin. I mean, awesome testimonies. This is a lot of fun. You know, I don't always get a chance to get to meet everybody, and this is really cool. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much. You know, it's and it's all about leading with value. I think you guys get that. It's about value, adding value. The same way, you said, hey, I give away everything on the front end. Value. That's how we build relationships. You got to have that thinking in your mind about adding value. Now, if you don't have any experience on the phone, or you haven't done this before, and you're not effective with making an invitation, I like people to go through the process first. In fact, that's why I have all those hoops. You can't even, we get tickets, people say, hey, can I just jump into the P3? No, you can't. We have that in place because I know human nature. If you go through something, you might want to check it out a little bit, and you might investigate it before you get there. And that's what we want people to do. So I recommend actually going through the trenches a little bit just to internalize the conversation. If that takes you a day, great. If that takes you a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, so be it. And then if somebody's experienced, I think they can speed through that process because it's really time. If you on the P3, it's saving you the the time that it takes you to make maybe 40, 50 outbound calls, instead of having to spend that time doing 40, 50 outbound calls, you get the benefit of the results that would come in if you would have sat down and make 40, 50 calls every single day. So for people that are used to that, I think they can just see where they're at in their lifestyle and just boom, do that. But somebody has never done it, I say go through the process first until you feel comfortable with the conversation, and once you feel comfortable, then you can make that decision.
Fantastic, and thank you. And I hope you guys see the unselfish nature of Ryan and what he's brought to us. And I mean, we just had a couple testimonies on tonight. I mean, I've got literally dozens and dozens since Kimberly and I engaged. I believe the first day of my engagement was the 29th of last month, and so it's been almost exactly 30 days, and there's hundreds of people that have followed us into this group and are getting a benefit from this. So not everybody has Joel's or Kevin's experience, but many people are having great experiences where they're having 8 to 10 appointments the first day, actually having a few good conversations, having their first sale in. I have one person that had their first actual network marketing sale in 10 years using the system. Now, that's a person that has some stick-to-itiveness, and that's a person that deserves my time and my attention and will get it because their desire is heavy, and this is a tool that really works. So I don't know if you guys have any more questions you want to shoot over before we let Ryan go. And Ryan, I don't know if you want to summarize with anything before we go to Aaron, but I do want to honor your time, and we've had you on here for an hour, so appreciate it.
You're welcome. Questions there?
No, nothing's coming through. I think we've answered most of them. You've done a great job, so maybe you just want to summarize, and we'll have people email us questions and get them to you down the road.
Yeah, I guess my thought is, hey, if I am an analogy, if you don't know how to swim, let's say you don't know how to swim, okay, what you would learn by getting into the shallow end of the pool and kicking your feet, even if that's 15 minutes or 20 minutes, what you would learn in 20 minutes of that would be way more than if you got a book, training videos, and studying how to swim for a month. Okay? So the same way, what you would learn if you took 15, 20 minutes and started making every day, if what you would learn in that process would be way more than if you came over to my house and sat down with me for a full week. So for the people that are saying, wow, I need to learn more about this before I really jump in and start doing some activity, I'm speaking to you. I say my invitation and my encouragement to you is say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to die. Let me jump into this and start making some phone calls so you can get some experience doing that. And that would be worth more valuable to you than any time with any of these leaders on the phone and more coaching and more training and all that stuff. And then naturally you can move to other things, as you develop. But you have to make that step. And I think that's one of the things that one of my pet peeves of this industry. There's so many strategies, there's so many different trainings, so many different ways, a lot of different shiny objects. And we have moved away from taking the basic step of, learning how to make an invitation. And it's kind of like that Karate Kid movie, wax on, wax off, and you had him paint the fence, okay? And he was doing wax on, wax off, paint the fence, for like a week, and then finally he's like, man, you just want me to clean you up, and then the teacher threw a punch, and he kind of did one of these wax off moves, okay? And he started to learn that there was a fundamental skill that was being developed that he needed in order to be able to go to the next level. And it served them very well to the end of the movie when the opponent cheated and broke his leg, and he had to rely upon the very basic skills to be able to finish him off. So that's my invitation to you. If you're not willing to learn some of the basic skills, then it'll be a disservice to you when you want to move into other things. So don't skip that. All right, guys. Anything else? If there's any comments that came in, I'm here. But if not, I'm gonna go boogie.
We're gonna let you go, Ryan. I want to thank you so much, guys. There was a question: how do you contact Ryan? I'll tell you. If you don't, you produce enough, he'll contact you.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm going to tell you guys. Just because I know he has 11,000 people in his group, he can't take phone calls. He will contact you when you produce. I promise you.
Fact.
It's a fact because there's 4 people on this panel. He's contacted all 4 of them, and there's only one reason. It's because they've produced. Ryan, I appreciate you. We've immortalized you in this. We've recorded it, and we're going to honor you with a lot more sales. And hopefully this training will help a lot of people in the future. So appreciate your time, my friend.
Cool, man. Send me the link to the recording. I'd love to pass that as well. Cool.
Yes, absolutely.
We'll do that. So we're going to move on to Aaron. Ryan, we excuse you with love and thank you.
All right.
Thanks,
Rob, Aaron.
Thanks, Ryan.
Hello, Kevin. All right, guys. Take care.
Now, before I move to Aaron, I'm going to tease you guys a little bit. There's some parts of what we teach that we hold very near and dear to our chest. And I'm going to give you an analogy like Kevin gave you earlier. If you were, my wife is going to hate me for this because she absolutely hates sports analogies. But if you were a Miami Dolphins fan or a Tampa Bay Bucks fan, well, I'd feel sorry for you if you were a Tampa Bay Bucks fan. But it doesn't matter. We live near Tampa, so I've got to say that. I'm an Oakland Raider fan, so you can really feel sorry for me. But if you were a fan of one of these teams, your sports team, and you were Washington Redskins, and your arch enemy is the Dallas Cowboys, you're not the Pats. If you're a Pats fan, you are not going to let everybody else know how you deflated footballs. You are going to hide some of your trade secrets. There's the Seahawk. You are not going to give the other team all your playbook. So while Aaron is going to come on and give you some secrets to make and get yourself on the leaderboard of your primary company, if you want all of our vault to open up to you, if you want all of Kevin Seuss's secrets, if you want Joel's, all of his magic dust, and if you want everything that Kimberly and I have in our vault, then that's going to cost you an entry into our primary program in that inner circle. However, our attempt, again, and our desire, our greatest desire, is to give you enough value that you will leave us better off than when we met you, that you will have the ability now to have conversations that will make you rise above the level you are today and hopefully get you on the leaderboard of the company of your choice. Now, so you want to get back to the person that invited you to this video, but you do not want to leave yet. I have saved at least part of the best till last. This young man I met a little over a month ago. My wife has been knowing him for about a year on Facebook. We personally, I watched a scope train of his, and I was literally in a thunder shower going across the country, and I was crying so hard that I nearly had to pull over, but I was in a tunnel. We were in a thunder shower, and then we went through a tunnel going through Rocky Mountains, and I couldn't pull over. But fortunately, the scope broke because we were in a tunnel, so I lost connection, so I didn't have to keep bawling. His story was so moving to me that I looked at my wife and I said, we're going to get to know that person. Who is that? And she went on to explain to me that she's had some kind of relationship with him on Facebook, through social media. And when we were out in Camas, Washington, we were only a couple hours away, and I said, it is absolutely crazy that we don't go up and shake that young man's hand. And I never tried to recruit him. I never even told him what our primary business was. And a week later, he not only had joined us, but he had flown to an event in Las Vegas. He slept on a cot in our room with a bunch of people in that room. And he has, that weekend, this was on a Thursday, he showed up Thursday. By Sunday, he was on the leaderboard of our company. That's how awesome this dude is. And he has taught me more in a month than many mentors have taught me in 35 years. And I'm not too old and ragged to admit that you can teach this old dog new tricks. Now, along with some of my skills, and him and I share a lot of history together in the car business, so we spoke each other's language, and we both wear our emotions on our sleeves. And so him and I have, and Kimberly have led a vigilant course over the last month. I mean, we have worked our literal tailbones off to provide a path for you guys to become exceptional. Now, some of you are scared to death to do what Ryan did and make those calls even though you have a script. I know that. Are you scared to do a Facebook chat, though? So, you know, maybe you're not Joel. Maybe you can't just pick up the phone and make calls and make $600 your first day. But you can do what Aaron does if you listen. If you don't listen, we can't help you. And quite frankly, I get tired of people not listening. If you want to learn how to make $10,000, why are you talking to the guy that's broke? Why are you not talking to Kevin Sousa, Robin Kimberly Skinner, or Aaron Hubbard? You know, we've earned $1 million in 6 different industries. We know a little bit about making money. Why don't you listen to a Paul Hutchins? Why don't you listen to a Mike Hobbs or a David Wood or the people that they've equipped to teach you these things? Please stop listening to people that are preaching the dream and living the nightmare. Please stop it. Joel, she is gorgeous, by the way. Look at that smile. Put her on a scope. You'll sign some people up. You know, I'm a huge one of, what do we call it when we use our kids?
Exploitation.
Exploitation of your children. Aaron does it. I do it. Joel, with a gorgeous little girl like that, you need to do it. All right, I'm going to get off my soapbox, but I want Aaron to come on now and just show us who you are, buddy, and share whatever you feel in your heart. And if you make me cry tonight, though, it's going to cost you.
I'm not going to make you cry. I'm not going to make you cry. Hey, everybody out there. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for waiting until the very end. I want to say I appreciate every single person that's on the panel. Kevin Sousa doesn't know this, but I've watched you for a very long time, my friend. I've been very intrigued with your story and everything that's gone on with you. And I know a lot about you. You don't know that yet, but I do know a lot about you. I do watch all your posts. I did take a lot of your viral strategies and use them for my own gains, which, you know, when you released that product, I don't know, maybe a year ago, I think, or I'm not sure exactly when you released that, but I was watching every move that you made, and I took those moves and I implemented a couple little things on top of that viral strategy that you had, and that's how I've gotten to where I am right now. You know, I don't think I was having much success around that time, or if I was having success back then when you launched that product, I was just having a little bit of success, you know, making a commission here, making some commission here, making some commission here, not really having any really good success where you want to build that income up and build the team and build your residual income, like Ryan was talking about, building that downline, right? And that's what we want to do. We want to build the downline, but there's so many things out there to do online to choose from, right? Okay, what do I do? Do I do only video uploads to Facebook and let those go viral and get absolute cold traffic to the link that you put in the description? I tried that. Doesn't convert the best, but it gives you leads. Okay, and if you got a phone number on that capture page, you can call them, and you can use what? The scripts that you now have for MLM Rod. Now here's what I'm putting 2 and 2 together with everything that I'm doing right now. Okay, there's 3 things that you do in this business to make money. Okay, and our team, the PPA Alliance, and Mike Hobbs is grow, get leads, and close. Right? Grow, get leads, and close. Well, I kind of call it the same thing. It's connect, communicate, close. And with the internet and all the media's out there, it's just another way to connect. So what MLM Rod has done for you, and if you decide to get it for your business, whether you work for us or not, is that it will give you a connection right now. See, what people need to understand is there's 2 types of marketing in this industry. There's right now marketing, called active marketing, and there's tomorrow's marketing, which is called passive marketing. Blogging, putting up YouTubes, hoping someone clicks your link, hoping someone goes through the funnel, hoping someone says yes. Or you can actively get in a chat box, talk to them, and get a yes or a no in 15 minutes. Or call these MLM Rod, call them. Yes, I'm ready to look. Click the button. Have them send it out, right? He sends out the email and say, hey, I'm going to call you back in 15 minutes. Okay, they say yes. Guess what? Now I'm back on the phone. What did you think? What did you like best? Write this down, everybody. This isn't no joke. What did you like best about the video you just saw? That's it. There's nothing else I say. I don't say anything else, and if you're saying anything more than that, you're crazy. Just say, what did you like best about the video you just saw? They're going to say blah, 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 blah. As long as it's not negative, as long as it's like, I don't want to do it, it's a scam, you suck, all this kind of stuff, then just be like, okay, ta-ta-ta, and off you go, right? Don't make a big deal about it. Be nice. But if they say, awesome, well, that was cool, or wow, or any of the kind of things that would give a positive vibration, you just respond. And now I know Kimberly and Rob always say, well, why do you put a question mark on there? Just do what I tell you to do. Sounds like you're ready to get started, question mark. And shut up. And guess what happens? You're going to get a yes or a no. And if you don't get a yes or no, you just go back to the 5 closing questions that I put together. Do you know how do you make money? Do you see how it would fit in your lifestyle? And then after I ask 2 questions, I go back and say, sounds like you're ready to get started. And they say no. I say go back to 2 more questions. Dun, 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 dun. Sounds like you're ready to get started. Sounds like it's like I'm a broken record. Sounds like I'm ready to get started. Sounds like you're ready to get started. Sounds like it. Just keep asking them until you get a yes or a no. Because the only thing you get paid for in this business, and I don't care, I'll fight all of them till the end. Your funnels and all your automation and everything. I will beat you all by going directly to the person and asking them to join me right now. Make sense? Now, I know there's people out there with automation that can kick my butt. There's no way I can catch them. I mean, you can put 10,000 people through a funnel. I mean, the conversion rate's at 3%. You're going to kick my butt. There's no way I'm going to be able to go out and talk to that many people. But here's what I know happens. When you do that, they think they need to do that. And when you do that, they go out there and try to do what you did. And guess what happens? They get confused. You got to have a really, really, really simple formula that's step, connect, communicate, close. Grow, leads, close, right? The simple steps that PPA is putting together for you or already has together for you, you just follow that. Because what is it going to do? It's going to give you what you want, a yes or a no. You just have to figure out how to connect with more people, and now you have MLM Rod. Okay, in the back office of MLM Rod, it has the blue button that says Facebook. Push it. Go to Facebook, okay? If you push the little blue button and it goes to Facebook and they're not there, grab the phone number, search it in Facebook. They're going to be there if their phone number's in there, okay? There's another way to connect with a new person, all right? So, what moral of the story is, the only thing you need to do is connect with new people either by phone or by Facebook, by Twitter, Instagram, going out to your front yard, doing a smoke signal, whatever you got to do. Go stand out in front of Walmart and say, okay, I'll dance if you click my link. Whatever. Do something. Get something going. But one thing that I know is like if you don't take action, there's not a reaction. And guys and gals, for the people that need money now, okay? I signed up for MLM Rod and 14 days later I had $1,825 in my pocket. I was like, what? Wow, that was easy. I was actually blown away. And then I was blown away from the people saying that they were calling people and it was working, they were using it to get some conversations going. Was I going to use it? I didn't really know if I was going to use it when I started off. Okay, I really didn't. I was just selling it because I knew the person on the other end needed leads for their primary company, and they said, when I came up to them, they said that they were happy in their opportunity. And before I had MLM Rod, I didn't really have much to say after that. Okay, so they don't want to join me in my primary crap. What do I do now? Do you need a lead system? Do you need a capture page system? Do you need something? I want to sell you something, right? No, I didn't have any of that. So now that I have MLM Rod, all I do is say, hey, Okay, well that's awesome. You're happy with your company. Do you have enough people to talk to? No. Okay, well what if I give you something? What if I give you this and it gives you, and I always tell them that they're going to get 100 leads, an autoresponder, a capture page, a contact manager for $15. And what happens is that $15 lowers down the shield that's around them. It lowers it down. Now you can talk to them. Now you can get on Skype like the #1 recruiter and the #1 income guy, right? Vitaly, who's on our team, who's doing a lot of the same things I'm doing, and he's getting them over to the phone. So as soon as you sign somebody up on that $15 deal, bam, get them in the phone. Get them on the phone. Start talking to them. Start showing them that you're real. Start showing them how to use the system. And just like Kevin said, a week later, they're in your inbox saying, hey, Kevin, I want to know what you do. And because you have authority and because you have posture, you can say no. No. No, you can't join. Sorry. They're like, what? What do you mean I can't join? Well, you can't join right at this moment, okay? Let me ask you a few questions to see if I even want to work with you. They're like, what? What do you mean? Doesn't everybody want to work with me? No. Okay. How many hours a week do you have to work on your business? Okay. What are you making right now? How many leads are you generating right now? Well, I'm making no money. I'm generating no leads. I'm having no success. Okay. How much money do you have to invest to get the skills necessary to make the money you just told me you want to make? And they always tell me a number. And I put that number right here, and I go to work. As being a salesman, because I was a salesman 30 years, I know how to perceive, right? The girl that I hit with the number yesterday, she's probably on the call. Marie, welcome to the team. I hit you at $1,000 to join, right? Then I hit you at $614 to join. And where did you join? You joined at $216. It's all perception of value, okay? It's all perception of value, all right? But I wouldn't have been able to get to that point with you, right? If I wanted to talk to you, if I wouldn't have gotten to what you wanted to get, where you wanted to go, what you're doing now, and why you think it ain't working right now, right? So the moral of the story again is connections. Use Facebook, Twitter, whatever medium you're out there using. Okay, you use that to get the connection. The connection can be created by an interaction or a notification of some sort on any platform. If it's on Twitter and you get a retweet, guess what? Get in their inbox, or it's called direct message over there. If it's on LinkedIn and you get a like, comment, or share, guess what? You better be in that inbox and you better be saying something like this. Write this down. Write this down. Hey, Tommy, appreciate you liking my stuff. Appreciate you liking my content. Thanks for the support. Hey, I've been meeting awesome people from all over the world. I would love to know more about you. I see you're from Seattle. What do? You send that message to people all over the internet and see what happens. I don't care what platform you're on. You're on Twitter, Instagram, don't matter. It works the same everywhere. And even when you're in the grocery store. Hey, Kevin, I like your new shoes. Those are awesome. Hey, where are you from? I'd like to know more about you. What do you do? See? Same thing as I'm at Starbucks. My question to you is when somebody walks up to you and you're at Starbucks, Kevin, you're standing there, and I walk right up to you, you're looking me right in my face, and I say, hey, Kevin, I love your new glasses that you got. Those shoes are awesome. Tell me more about you. What do you do? And I look right at you. What are you going to do? Are you going to say, are you just not going to talk to me? That's the same thing people are doing on Facebook when you get a like, comment, and share. People coming over to your profile, giving you a like, comment, and share, and you're not doing anything with it. You're just like, oh, I got a like. Oh, thank you. Awesome. Thanks, Tom. I got a like. Okay, so what? Go talk to Tom. Go say, hey, Tom, thanks for liking my post. I really appreciate it. I looked at your profile. I saw you're from Connecticut. My grandma lives in Connecticut down by the river. Where do you live? What do you do? Every single interaction that I do, every single engagement that I do is based off the electric permission or electronic permission that they hit like, comment, or share. What, buddy? What's wrong? You okay? You all right? What's happened? What's wrong? You got something on your foot? Oh, I'm sorry. So, you know, you just have to realize that you can go and you can do all those things of a guru, okay? You can have all those things done, okay? But I'm just here to tell you that it's going to take a little time for that to happen for you, for you to master it, for you to build a list of, you know, I've been in this game, just so you know, guys, I failed for 10 years prior to having success. If I would have failed, or if I would have quit any of those years before, I wouldn't be sitting here with my son right now, doing whatever, you know, on a whatever day it is. I don't know what day it is. I don't care what day it is. I don't care what time it is. Well, I do care what time it is because sometimes I got to be on Hangouts and stuff, right? So I need to know what time it is. But most of the time I don't look at my watch because I don't want to. So the one thing that I just want to get clear to everybody is this, okay? There is active marketing and there's passive marketing. If you're somebody that got into this business and you have resources, credit cards, $20,000 in credit, and you want to get going, well, yes, that's awesome. You're talking to a kid that came from a trailer, came from 10,000 people. I'm just like Paul Hutchins. I came from nowhere, nothing. I had nothing, right? No resources. I have no money. I couldn't go buy ads. I couldn't do nothing. I had to figure out how to go to the people because I was stuck in the middle of nowhere when I started doing this. I'm like, well, I don't got nobody to talk to. How am I supposed to go have a meeting? They don't even have a pizza parlor here. They don't even have a coffee shop. They're like, the guy's telling me to go get all my friends and family and take them over to the coffee shop. I'm like, well, I live 60 miles in the bushes, man. I can't go to the coffee shop. So anyways, I had to start using Facebook and using what I had. Like, I was like, okay, well, there's Facebook. There's all these people there. How do I, like, there's got to be a way to get to these people. Look, I'm, like, in these groups, and, like, there's, like, 20,000 people in these groups, and I'm sitting there, and I'm staring at the group, and I'm watching the posts go in, and I'm just like, I don't get it. Why are they just all posting in there? How come nobody likes on their posts? How come nobody comments on their posts? I don't get it. And then it hit me. Why don't I comment on them? Why don't I like them? Why don't I go and talk to them and say, hey, Johnny, I just saw your post in the XYZ group. That's pretty cool. How long have you been in XYZ company? I want to know more about you. Guess what happens? Anybody that's in business that has another person ask about their business, guess what they do? Blah, 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 blah. They start talking. They start sending you a message. They a lot of times puke on you, and you know, sorry about this if anybody's watching this. I apologize. I don't mean to disrespect you, but you send this long message that has like a bunch of links in it, and you don't even know who I am. You don't know if I have a successful business. You don't know if I'm open to looking. And as soon as you send that to me, you're done. You're had, because I'm gonna get you. Because I know that you don't know what you're doing. That you need help. So every person you guys say, stop spamming me, I had to block that guy, or all this stuff, right? That is a free lead. When somebody spams you, indicator 1, they need your help. Indicator 2, they're spending money and they have a business. Indicator 3, they definitely don't know how to use Facebook right. So guess what? Take those 3 indicators, put on your tool belt, get into conversation mode, get into script mode, get into asking question mode, start asking questions. And right away, they're going to know that you're different because you're asking questions. You're not like everybody else, right? 97% of everybody else is doing all this other stuff. Asking questions, bombarding them, not being polite. They're just like, you want to join? Pitchy. And here's the PPA Alliance. Here's the people on my team, all of us, right? We're all asking questions, calculated questions to draw out the information so we can say, so what you're telling me, Kevin, is that if I taught you how to get leads right now and I taught you how to convert those leads right now, you'd be open to looking at what I'm doing right now. You'd be open to looking? And they say yes. I say, are you in front of a computer? They say yes. I say, I'm going to send you a link. Would you watch it? Yes. And after you watch it, I'm going to follow up with you. Is that okay? Yes. Then I send the link. I don't do it until then. Yes. Yes, you're going to click it. Yes, you're going to watch it. And yes, I'm going to follow up with you in 15 minutes. 15-minute coming up. Hey, Kevin, what'd you like best about the video you just watched? He says something awesome. I say, sounds like you're ready to get started. Boom. There's my yes and no. And guess what? Guys, gals, if you're not getting, 10, 20, 30 yeses and nos per day, you're not going to get to gold. You're not going to get to $10,000 level. I haven't got there yet. I'm not saying I got there. I'm not claiming I got there. All I know is that my goal is to get there as fast as possible. Okay? That's all I can think about right now. So all I can think about is getting as many people into my business as fast as possible so I can get to gold, so I can walk the stages with Kevin and Rob, and I want to do the Vanilla Ice Dance on the stage in Orlando. Okay? So that's what I want to do, and I know that by being the way I am and being enthusiastic and coming out here and just being bombastic like Rob says, it fires everybody up and gets you guys all excited. And I would love to figure out how to get all of my information to everybody. Like, one thing I'm learning is to talk to feel abundance in my life. And I've been kind of selfish about the way I am. A lot of people don't know about what my stuff is, and I tried to launch a product and I was like, I don't want everybody to have it. so for me, Inner Circle has really been getting on me. And David Wood, hypnotizing the crap out of me. I'm starting to feel like I need to be more abundant and just to give. And I think by giving, you get way more back. So, hey. No. So,
can you guys see what I saw in the young man? Can you see what I saw in
Yeah. I hope that, all I ever do, I never really say much besides how I feel and passionate, and I talk from experience. I have a list. Remember I said I was in the business for 10 years? I have a list of and it's not big, it's like 6,000 people, right? I email the list all the time, all kinds of different stuff, and do all kinds of different things, and I don't get a lot of traction there. I don't get a lot of what I call automated profits there. I don't. But what I do is I'll take that email that I get, I'll put it in Facebook, I'll go to that person's Facebook page, and I'll start talking to them. So the connection, when I talk about connections, guys, I talk about connections as far as the person, right? People join people. They don't join businesses. People join Kevin because he's so awesome. If you've ever, go get on his page and watch all the stuff that he posts. How can you not be wanting to be around that guy, right? If you go listen to the Inner Circle, Kevin Sousa talks about positivity builds. How you consistently always post onto Facebook positivity. Now, sometimes I might not be so positive. But I want to say to you that when I'm not so positive, I have a purpose. And I always have good intentions when I put out that kind of not so positive vibe. It's just to get everybody to open up their eyes. And as I go through my own personal development and as I go through my own journey, I've come a long ways and got to this point, and I feel by everybody telling me that I do this and that, and Rob says this, and everybody says, I do collectively listen and try to mold myself into something better, just like anybody else should. So make sure that A, you upgrade to Inner Circle, B, you listen to an hour of audio at night before you go to bed, an hour when you wake up, because when you do, you just start, I don't know what happens. I can't even explain it. Okay? It's the nuttiest thing that's been happening to me in the last 30 days is this massive transformation, the way that I feel about myself, the confidence I have for my people, for you, for everybody around me, and the way that I speak. I can feel that I have power, and I can feel that people listen. But it never was like this before, guys. It was a long, hard struggle of what worked and what didn't work, and crying and being all frustrated and quitting many companies and all this different stuff that I did. But the one thing that I did is I kept to my goal of wanting freedom and not having to sitting at the dealership and looking out the window, out the glass. I called it the fishbowl syndrome. We waited, we sat, we complained at the dealer when I said, Rob, you piece of junk, you ain't sending no traffic to the dealer. Why don't you put some dang ads on Craigslist? Do something for us. We're sitting over here starving. And he would scream at us, our dealer would scream at us, get on the phone, call your customers. What are you doing? And I never knew. Oh, duh, get on the phone. Right? Call somebody, do something. Don't just sit there and wait for something to happen. And that's kind of how this industry is kind of, I don't want to say this, but it kind of has us hiding behind our fears, okay? Sales funnels, I'd rather have them go through a sales funnel than call them. I'd rather have them go through that process over there and just sign up. Really, because that's kind of how it is, right? Hopefully I'm telling the truth. That's kind of how I felt. I'm just talking from experience that, you know, when I first got into MLM Rod, I wasn't really excited about calling them. I wasn't all that excited about calling them. But after the third call that I made, and I don't know if you guys saw the picture up on my whiteboard, but I wrote down the whole script on my whiteboard, and I sat here and I called people. And on the third call, after the second one wasn't so great, I kind of sat there and swallowed my Adam's apple, and I was really all choked up, and I'm like, are you really a wussy? I was like, man, what is stopping you, man? You're in the car business. You've called hundreds and hundreds of people before. What is your issue? And my little boy was standing there, and I got all choked up, and I said, I got to call him. This guy my son needs me to call him. So I called him, the next guy. And that guy made fun of me. He said, are you reading from a script? I said, yeah, why, sir? He goes, because you sound like a robot. I said, sorry, I'm just trying to do my job because I want to succeed. And he said, well, good for you. Tell me what you got. That's what he said. And I was like, oh, God, I thought he was going to, like, yell at me or scream at me or tell me some kind of crap. Like, I just couldn't take another call because if he would have done what the guy on the other call did, I don't know if I would have called the next person. I would have, like, waited for at least a couple days to get my bearings and go, okay, you know, get my motivation again, right? Because if you don't have a strong enough why, and I'm going to go back to the inner circle call because there's an inner circle audio before Kevin's. It's like the third one down, and there's this lady talking about, and I don't even know what her name is, but she talks about how when you talk about your why, or you even bring it up, you get all emotional like I am right now, okay? So if you can't talk about your why and get all teary-eyed, you ain't got one. Don't kid yourself, okay? If you can't bring up your why and you start crying, then you ain't connected to the real reason why you're doing this, okay? Do you understand? You have to connect the why to your mission passion. And every time that you say that you're not going to do it, you have to go to the why and cry about it and then go back and do it. Okay? Because guess what? You were born to do this. You were born to be creative, you were born to be powerful, and you were born to lead. And the way you lead is you do what you said you're going to do. I said I was going to call those calls. I'm doing those calls now. I'm calling them. And it's not so hard. It's not so bad as I thought. I did think it was harder than it was, and it's not. It's not that hard. It's really easy. And once you make a couple calls after 20, 30 calls, it's like, okay, this ain't that bad. It's not that hard. And it makes it really awesome when the person says, oh, yeah, I'll take a look, and you push the button, and you send them over the information. And then about 5 minutes later, you get this little notification on your phone that says, so-and-so, click the link. That makes you feel awesome. And then you get another notification that says they clicked on your biz link. That's when I call them again. I'm like, hey, woohoo, you clicked on my links. You're clicking all over in there. It's awesome. I want to get on Skype with you and show you how to use it. I'm not trying to sell them or tell them to upgrade. I just said, hey, I want to help you. I want to help you. I've noticed myself saying that in the chat box a lot. I want to help you. Let me help you. And they say, okay, help me, please. Do you mean it? Do you really mean that you're going to help me? Because the last person that said they were going to help me took my money and ran. Okay? If you're that person that is chasing people down to get their money, to only get their money, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to absolutely fall flat on your face. It's not going to be fun. You're just going to be really, really disgusted with yourself after you realize how stupid you really were for just chasing people around for the wrong reasons and the wrong intentions. The right intention is to do anything for anyone, is to help them. Give a hand, okay? Put your hand out there and say, here, I'm here to help. If you do that in the chat box and on the phone, and you continually take regular basis action on every single day, and you do it and you do it and you do it, 30 days, 60 days later, all of that will be a habit, and you'll just do it every day. What's up, honey? Juice? Okay. Rob, go ahead. I got to go grab my daughter some juice real quick. I'll be right back, okay?
All right, buddy. Thank you. All right, guys. You know, it's been an hour and 47 minutes, but I think you can see the engagement has been incredible. Well, my wife is scoping this live while we're doing this, and she's been kind of running my phone over here, and we've had incredible interaction. You know, I mean,
Heather says this is the best scope ever.
yeah, I mean, people are saying it's the best scope. We've got, you know, several viewers have had to move on, but we'll record this. And you guys, you need to honor the people that invited you by asking them. You need to ask them where to go from here. You know, the person that invited you. Not me, not Kevin, not Joel, not Aaron, the person that invited you. Honor them. We'll all still help you. I want you to understand something. Kevin is on my team in our primary company as far as leadership, but we're not connected to each other in money. Neither am I and Joel. Aaron and I and Kimberly are separate from them, yet we're here together on a panel. We have no financial fiduciary responsibility to each other, nor benefit directly from each other's work. But we have a moral and a core value responsibility to each and every one of you. And all of us feel like what Aaron expressed to you. We all love you. We all care about you, and we all desire for you to be successful. We are trying to teach Aaron a new life of abundance because he does come from an industry that beats you down as a regular thing. I know, because I was a car dealer. I was an owner, and I never beat anybody down, but I would go to seminars where they would say, this guy's a jackwad, he's an Aaron Hubbard, and he sells 20 cars, and he thinks he can come and go as he please. And I'd raise my hand, and they'd say, Rob, do you have something to say? I go, yeah, if you don't like that guy, send him to me. He sells 20 cars a month. I'll take him. He doesn't have to come to meetings if he doesn't want to, because he obviously already knows what to do. Is his profit okay? Yeah, it's great. Is the customer satisfaction okay? Oh, it's great. Why are you guys beating him up? Send him to me. I'll give him a plane ticket. He can come to Alaska and work for me. We want you so badly to succeed at what you're doing that we know that because of the true love that we share, what you saw here tonight is so real that a good percentage of you will join us. So we don't have to worry about those of you that have no intention and you love your own program. We want to help you as well. So with that being said, I don't know if there's any final comments, but it is 2 hours. I want to wrap it up. We are going to record this. I've had several comments. Aaron is the real deal. Kevin is amazing. Joel, you are the man. Taking massive notes right now. Can I get a replay of this? Too good to not watch again. The answer to all those is yes, you can. And what we're going to do is set it up so that you guys can connect a link to it of your own business. And you can share it with people to watch at their own comfort level if you thought this helped. So
I forgot to share a tip. Like I said, I was going to give away a tip. Do you want me to do that real quick?
Yeah, why don't you go and then let Kevin go real quick, and then Joel, and then Kimberly will end this because we have gone on for 2 hours.
Okay, cool.
So give your tip, buddy.
Okay. So go. So I have what they call the flow. FLO, flow of your Facebook profile, okay? So every 15 minutes, every 30 minutes, or every hour, you're going to make a post, okay? The flow goes inspiration, okay? So post inspiration in the form of video of yourself, like Vitaly does, or you post a quote like Kevin does, or you post a picture with a quote on it. Where do you get it? You go to Google Images. Okay? I highly recommend that you put your little hashtag or your website on a picture or a quote or something down there. I know Kevin does that little like Google link there so that they can click it sometimes. So your flow is going to be every 15. Sorry guys, every 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or an hour. So you're going to post inspiration, regular life. You at the park, you with the dog, you with your kids, you with your wife. Okay? So inspiration, regular life. All right? Then results. Okay? Got it? Inspiration, your regular life, then results. Or I got leads or value. This could be value down here. Okay? A blog post or something that shows them how to do something on Instagram or shows them how to do something on Facebook or that. Okay? So it's motivation post, wait 15 minutes, 30 minutes, then it's a normal post of you and your wife eating dinner or having a glass of wine or at the lake or whatever. And then below that's a blog post or value post or result post. Okay? I like to do 1 or 2 social proof posts that I made money or I'm on the leaderboard in the day and put that into our viral chat. Okay? And that will help you get everything flowing. And then the only thing that you watch is the 3 little dots up at the top. Okay? What are they? Friends requests, messages, and notifications. The more friends requests you get, that's a lead. The more messages you get, well, that's a lead, obviously. They're in your inbox. And then every notification, every like, comment, and share, go up to them, say this. Thanks for like, comment, and sharing. Change those words out, whatever they did. I really appreciate you following me. Would like to know more about you. What do you do? There's your tip for today. Hope you guys liked it. That's all I do.
Okay, and I wanna share something with that. If you don't think you have value, or if you don't have results to post, that's where team comes in. We will let you piggyback on our story until you build your own. So that's where you need to get help. So just do that. Let's move on. I can't remember who I said next, Kevin or Joel. Either one of you, whoever wants to pop on, give a minute or so of closing comments, and then we'll move on.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Aaron. That was awesome. That was just incredible. I hope people watch that over and over and over again and watch it again and again and implement what he's talking about, because the principles of success were laden and weaved throughout everything that Aaron shared today. And, of course, the beginning of this webinar hangout, we talked about MLM Recruit on Demand. You use those techniques, and you take this hangout, and you give to every person in your team, and you make sure that they watch it, and then they implement that which they learned here. Okay? You guys are headed by a great leadership team. Rob and Kimberly Skinner, I appreciate the opportunity to sit in on your live hangout, and I'm sure Joel does too. Joel is personally sponsored by Todd Achel in my team and myself, and so thank you for having me here tonight.
Well, and thank you, Kevin. You're a great addition to any family, and we love you. So let's go on to Joel. Joel, share with us, buddy. Give us. You got to unmute yourself, though.
I'm unmuted. Can you hear me?
All right, brother.
Okay, listen. I shared this with our team last night, but I just want to tell you guys one last little tip that's been working for me incredibly, and I am not even joking. This Instagram automation has been incredible for me. And all these simple steps, all it is people friend me because I send them a direct message on Instagram as soon as they follow me. It's automated. They send me a friend request on Instagram or on Facebook. As soon as I get their friend request on Facebook, I learned this from a very, seasoned pro, I should say, Rob. I send them a message right away. As soon as they friend request me, I send them a message that just basically says, hey, thanks for the connection, blah, blah, blah. What do you do? And the engagement is incredible. I've never gotten so much engagement in my life. And you can throw that MLM script at them, You can talk to them for a minute. You can do whatever you want to do, but that is gold, man. I have never had so much interaction with live people. Like, you want to talk about active prospecting, that's one thing, right? When you go out and search groups and do your thing when you're looking for people. These people come to you. They friend you. And they're targeted. Every single one of them is targeted. So as soon as they connect with you, you just send them a little video, and their mind is blown. Like, this is something people aren't doing. So when they get a video of you, like, it blows their mind, and they're like, wow, how'd you do that? What'd you do? Like, how do you do that? And it's like, huh? I just, made a video, recorded some camera roll, and I sent it to you. They're like, oh, okay. And all these things I learned from our team. That's the most important thing. If you've got a good team, like, you implement all this stuff. Aaron, Kevin, Robin, Kimberly, Vitaly, everybody else. Like, I just learned so much from Aaron right now. My mind's blown. Like, all of a sudden, I'm just like, whoa. Okay. Now I've got some more stuff to work on. You know what I mean? Like, that is awesome, man. That is awesome. Like, this is what we learn from each other by being a part of this team and being a part of what we do, whether it's our primary business or MLM Rod or whatever we're in. And Kevin, oh my gosh, he's taught me more than I can ever, like, oh my gosh. It's ridiculous. And that's what teams are for. That's what uplines are for. So if you have a good upline, you listen to them. If they're successful, you do what they do. It's that simple. Like that, it's that simple. You duplicate. That's it. If you don't duplicate, you don't win. You will not be successful. Duplicate. Follow your leaders. That's it. It's really that easy. And I guess, as Kevin says, and via Forrest Gump, that's all I have to say about that.
Sorry about that. So if you guys liked what you heard today, get back with the person that invited you tonight and contact them. You will, by virtue of that person, get one of us leaders or all of us to help you. I promise you that, in your primary business of your choice, not of ours. If you choose to come further with us, we will open up vaults that you could never imagine. What you saw was just the tip of the iceberg, and you saw enough value tonight to take you to the tip or the top of leaderboards just about in any company in the online or offline marketing world. Seriously, this is some grade A, heavy-duty stuff. Hang on, we're going to mute a couple people. We're getting a lot of feedback. You've been unmuting them. So, all right. So, get back with the person that brought you, and if you guys enjoyed this, and those people that are going to see this in the future, because there's going to be thousands of people that watch this down the road in a recorded version. Again, the same advice. Get back with the person that invited you. Get involved in MLM Rod so you can increase your primary. And if you guys enjoyed this, we're going to be doing little live tidbits daily. We do this on Scope, and we'll do this on other things so that you guys can learn these little tips like what Aaron shared. And we'll focus on things that will actually make you money in active marketing. So with that, we're going to close down. Kimberly, do you have any last words that you want to share with anybody? Go ahead, sweetheart, and then we'll close down.
I do super quick. I just want to say hey and a shout out to everyone who's been watching on Periscope. I appreciate all of you. During this broadcast, we hit 200,000 hearts. Just to let you guys know that I appreciate that. It was really cool. But most of all, I want to say that I am so grateful for you, Joel and Aaron and Kevin and Ryan, who is no longer on here, because each of your unique contribution is important and it matters to the people who are watching broadcasts to try to gain some skills and to get some success in their business. Each and every one of your contribution absolutely matters, and it's unique and important, and for that I'm super grateful. I encourage all of you guys to implement like mad the things that you learned. Do not stay stuck. Use this as rocket fuel to move you forward in your business and in your life so that you can get the freedom of finances and time that allows you to live as you're inspired. And I appreciate Rob and all of the value that you bring to our business life and our personal life each and every day. And I look forward to seeing you guys. Please reach out to us on all the social media channels. We look forward to it, everyone. And we're going to shut this one down in 5, 4.
Love
3,
you guys.
2.